All right, I'm going to try to do 2019 Week 1's Workout Wednesday Challenge in real time. We'll see what that thought process is and kind of where I struggle. All right, so I opened it in a new tab. I'm going to play with it here. I should read it. Okay. So you click on one of these and it expands to the subcategory. It's kind of like having hierarchies. I don't care about that right now. One table for the category, subcategory, using some like winding symbols. I always have a tab open too. I like to embed windings in dashboards. I don't know if it's actually windings, but okay. I wonder how you do that. Superstore dataset. Normal. Okay, spoilers. I'm already there. Union the data. One will be summary. One will be detailed. Okay, this is a good excuse to use Tableau Prep. So we'll do that. Could do it in desktop, but I don't get to use Prep often enough, so let's do it in Prep. Why not? What do we got to lose? Nothing. If it'll open. Take your time. I like these Workout Wednesday challenges. They make me look at problems and ways that I don't normally deal with, and it's pretty... There's definitely things like I've never done this before. The single... So this... It's like my first thought when I look at this is... I mean, we're 18.3 is out, right? So it's all about like set actions now. So my first thought is, let's do set actions. And this behaves kind of like hierarchy, where you can define your own custom hierarchy, like dates have a hierarchy, year, month, etc. And that's inherent with category and subcategory. But that usually will then add the secondary column, just like it does with, you got year and then you've got month when you click on that little plus sign inside the pill. So I bet with set actions, you have like a custom like display column. And by whatever's in the set or not. I don't know. Let's play with it. Let's first worry about the data. So connect to Excel, documents, my Tableau, sample store. Orders and orders. I'll make this a little bit bigger here. Rename this to orders, category, and subcategory. I'm going to add a step. Create a calculated field called source. With the string category. Okay, so the thought process behind this is subcategory. Subcat's good enough. Whenever I'm in SQL Server and I'm unioning things, I always like to have like a source column or a table column where I'm saying what was my source. Now when I do this in Tab Prep, it tends to do that for you, but I don't ever really care for the naming convention. And yeah, I could rename them once I do the union. But I don't know, it's just a habit that I haven't broken out of, and I don't know if it's necessarily bad that I have or haven't. Add a union. Union. I feel like that's not necessary. Okay, category and subcategory. Yeah, good enough. Data output. And let's change this to, let's do everything on the desktop. Call it wow 19 week 1. And I'll save this flow too, because I'll post that on the blog post. So I could have done this inside of Tableau Desktop, but I don't get to use prep very often. I find that I'm frequently doing my own ETL process in other tools. Frequently, like, it stays in like SQL Server. Most of our on-prem systems are SQL Server. I do a lot of work inside a SQL Server. I don't really get to use prep. I think that's going to change now that we're at the point where we've got, what do they call in the conductor? I still want to call this Maestro too. But now that we have conductor, we're going to be able to schedule these. And this is what's really prevented me from using this in the past. But I can definitely see that there's a lot of, like, in my work world, replacing a lot of SSIS packages with this. I mean, that SSIS package ends up being consumed in Tableau Desktop in Hyperdata Extract. So I can just cut out the middleman of having to deal with that in SSIS, and I kind of like this software. And I don't get to use it very often, so I don't really know a lot of its uses. So let's save this real quick. I'll stop talking about it. Save. Desktop. Wow. 19 week 1. Okay. Tableau Desktop. So this can go away now. Let's put this over here. Nitpicky thing, but this has been happening to me recently where that won't properly load. And dark mode in macOS, that'd be really nice. Not that that really necessarily matters, but this is automatically scheduled now for me with this application. I think it's called, what, Hoot something? Not Hootsuite, that's the heavens. It makes this sound. Doesn't automatically. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Put it on Reddit. All right, so this is a flow, so I'm just going to drag this into desktop. And you know what I don't like? I don't like that it breaks my nice, clean organization, folder organization of the data source. I mean, why would it keep that, right? So let's make category and subcategory. Good enough. And we know we want category. We know we want date. Should probably put this over here. You know what I'll do? Let's do this. Let's make it so I can see everything nice and neat next to each other. Neatish. So we have year. I don't know if that's... Is that order date? It's probably order date. I'm just going to assume it's order date. Let's go to order date. It brings a year on. Now we need sales. Now this is going to double. It's going to double my sales. I'll deal with that later. How am I going to deal with that? I'll deal with that later. Okay. So the first thought is, like, it kind of behaves like the default hierarchy, where you can click on it, and it adds that subcategory, and you can collapse and expand. I like that. They want it all in the exact same here, so I'm thinking... What am I thinking? I'm thinking that we're going to need... some kind of formula. Calculated field. We'll call a display. You know what? It's going to be set action, so let's get rid of that right now. Let's just make a set. create not a calculated field, a set of what? Category? Trying to think of what I'm going to do here. Probably. Let's just try it. All right, so I'm going to want something to display. I'm going to do the underscore so it just shows up at the top so I don't have to hunt and peck. Because this data, it's not a very clean data source where everything's in a nice, neat folder. So if that source is equal to, what do we say, a subcat, and set 1, then, I don't like it when I subcategory. Else if, I'll explain it in a minute here. Set 1. Okay. So when the source on the table, so that source field that we made before, is subcategory and set 1, so else if, so that'll give me the subcategory. Okay, so when the values are in the set 1, then I want to show all the subcategory stuff. So when I click on it, that category goes into the set. And then I'll have it so that way when I click off, I remove values from the set. Because we're going to do a set action on the dashboard. That'll make subcategory, because I'm going to want to show the subcategory. Else if it's just subcategory 1. I'm not sure if this is the right line. Yeah, I think this is right, but let's go with that. So I've got display. I'm also going to need like probably a cleaner way of showing this. Let's make a second one. Let's do case of when. Yeah, I really should have written down what I did here. Cat. Let's copy it and bring it into here. Edit. So when cat subcat, I don't have my pad of paper with me. This is what's kind of throwing me for a loop. Then I'm going to need to come over here. Copy. It's probably going to be like I think one space will be enough. Probably. Plus category. I'm going to quick go through this and make sure that this actually kind of works before I try to over-explain this. Because I might be wrong. I might have to come back and change some of this. So I've got cat, subcat, cat. got cat subcat. Thrilling. That looks weird. Right? Doesn't it? Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna need more than one space there, probably. So it's gonna need to be more than one space. 6 spaces? I don't know. Display 2, okay, display 2. Let's make a dashboard real quick. Toss sheet 1 on. I'll go dashboard, actions, set values. So, target that data source for set 1, it's the only set. Remove everything when I select. Called set 1, good enough. Okay. Fuck yeah, it works. Okay, cool. All right, now I'll explain it, what I was thinking. So first one, and there's got to be a much smarter way of doing this, but nested calculated fields are the only thing that makes sense right now. Okay, so when, on that data source field, we have subcategory and category. So when it's the subcategory, I only want to show half of the data. Did I really need to union the data? I don't know, whatever. And it's inside that set 1. Then I want to show subcategory. So when I click on something, now I've got the subcategory. I want to show subcategory. Otherwise, no, thank you. I'm good, right? And then in here is where I say, listen, when I do know that it's something that's selected in the set, I give the down arrow, and it gives you the subcategory, which tells you that I want to have all the details. Now let's turn off the header on these. Oh, I'm going to go back to the DOI. Okay, now I have the problem of... That doesn't make any sense. So let's click on 1, go into the sheet. So what's happening is the sales are doubling when it's collapsed, because it's just a sum of sales. So... These names I picked for these formulas are dumb. Terrible. Okay, there's got to be a smarter way to do this, huh? Yeesh. Not quite. I don't know what I was thinking. See, now, because then that top layer is now... So it doesn't need to be this. It needs to be... Category sum. Yeah, I did not think through those names. And that makes it more difficult. And whenever you're making something that's like going to be, you know, for a workplace and deployment, taking some extra time to like whiteboard it or write it out on a couple of sheets of paper, and even take the time to, you know, comment in here, this is what this does, right? And maybe spell things right, is helpful, because even if you're the one that makes this, and you're going to be the one that is part of the data governance process and the owner, you're like the, you know, the technical lead on this. If you come back in a week or a month and you look at some of the formulas that you made, you might, it's common to look at things and go, I have no idea what I did or what I was thinking. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And that's good and bad. It's good in that you're constantly like evaluating yourself and trying to grow, but it's bad in that you spend a lot of time kind of twisting your wheels, trying to figure out what did I do in the past, and not enough time making the quick modification that you need to kind of be nimble enough. So I'm going to change the default properties. Oops, not the color. Just currency. Is that in currency? It's in rounded in. Come back. Default properties. Currency custom. There we go. 157.193. Good. Okay, let's turn that header back off. Let's hide that field row. This is hidden. All right, so then the shading. I don't actually think I know. Is that just simple? I wonder if they format. I do that every time. Like I know that I gotta go here. But it needs to, the shading needs to be matched to what was selected, right? Like, huh. That looks like it's alternating once it's clicked on. What was in the wording? Why is this the hardest part? That's... I don't even think I have the right colors. Yeah, formatting is always the hardest part. I think the one thing that I feel like, let's make the rest of the dashboard the right size. 500 by 600. By 600. Let's make that fit width. Fit width. What's the command key for this? There's a keyboard shortcut to make it, the column size is thicker. I don't remember what it is. I bet that this is Tableau Lite. That seems to be pretty popular. Wait. Because the numerical value inside the crosstab, definitely a larger font. That looks like... This is always... And this feels like it's the hardest part. Let's go format dashboard. I don't know. Make everything Tableau light. Forget it. Let's go 14. I like even numbers. Do you think it's an even number? I don't know. Let's make this, including that, Tableau bold. Oh man, I don't know. Format. I think we're close. You think close is good? Close is probably not good enough. That's definitely probably... maybe not. Tableau light. 12? Makes everything. Whoa. Oh boy. Not Tableau bold. I don't think it's Tableau light though. Let's go back to book. I don't know, I'm gonna stop trying to kill myself over this here. This is maybe getting a little out of hand. Yeah, there's always usually some fundamental thing that I don't do right on these challenges, and you know, I think that's okay. You get close. This is definitely a text. I have absolutely zero idea what those characters are. Right here, these blue ones, these turquoise. I really like turquoise. I like turquoise. Oh yeah. I think I'll just add that extra line. Center everything. I have honestly no idea what. That's probably 10. This part, the hashtag and workout. And the rest of it's Tableau. It's going to be light. That seems to be the thing. And bold. Fun, right? This is fun to watch. Let's just do that as like a placeholder. I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of time monkeying around trying to, you know, fooling about looking for windings, because those don't look familiar. But I like this site. I use this one a lot for different shapes. I can just copy that. Copy, you know, and paste it in. It's all right. I'm gonna stop wasting everybody's time. I think I'm off on the shading. I definitely need to pick a turquoise color. Which, 0, 144, 140. All right, lots of silences while I kind of stare at this and try to figure it out. I know that for sure I got to change and alternate the... I've never actually played with that before. I usually make a lot of white space and don't have cross tabs in dashboard. So this is probably a very simple thing that I can change this color to maybe that. That's way too damn dark. That's probably closer. I don't know how to alternate it. Right, that's not what the band size does. Yeah, I actually have no idea how to alternate. Yeah, that's got me. Well, we're close. Yeah, kind of. You win some, you lose some. Well, anyway, how long did that take? I'm not really sure. Half hour? The fun part's always trying to figure out the technical. How to make that expand. I'll write up a little blog post and see if I can get it a little bit further on. And do maybe Google around a little. Well, let's real quick just download this and see how off I am on drum roll. Yeah, these are some kind of... What the? Unicode, sans... Yeah, Unicode character. I could Google around for that, or just copy and paste it, I guess. What is this? Tableau bold. Ah, Tableau book. What is Tableau book? Ah, well. Oh well. Let's see. How did they do it? Dynamic rows, true, false. What is that for? Edit. Oops. Dynamic rows. Okay, so very similar-ish. Well, we got close. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck on your own challenge. We'll see you next week.